Hey guys, this is Psychic Tracey Brown with Psychic News. Today we're going to talk about Herman Cain. I'm going to get a little political. Now, let me tell you that normally, that's my dog, I'm sorry. Stop. Normally, I might steer away from political stuff, like I may not predict any presidential outcome. That's just, you don't want to dive into that psychically. And I'm not. This is not political. But this is about a political candidate, Herman Cain. And whether or not he should reconsider his continuation for running for president. And whether or not he should rearrange his language, his words, his demeanor, in the way that he talks about the women that have come forward. This is not too far removed from the Anita Hill. And what I mean by that is, Anita came forward because of the Supreme Court judge that was having these nominations. And I felt like she took a beating. However, Anita did change America. And I'm grateful that she did come forward because almost every company has a sexual harassment regulation, stipulation, education, almost every company, and particularly big companies. Here's what concerns me though. When the women come forward, like seriously, it's okay for Herman Cain to talk bad about these people? No. If any accusations aren't true, guess what? You don't have to put anybody down, to get your point across. And that's what I'm finding, that the women, and let me tell you, I'm not saying that any of the women are innocent. I'm pretty confident that there may have been some circumstances where they knew he was married, especially the 13-year affair with Ginger White that just became available, I think, yesterday. But what concerns me is how bad we are depicted, how bad we are viewed as women. And the men go off singing, they sing they get to be like, I don't know, you know what I mean. And it bothers me. I mean, the Supreme Court judge, ultimately he was nominated, to the position. But let's still give, kudos for Anita Hill for changing the scope on how employers take care of situations like that. Now, me personally, I've been a whistleblower in a situation that was devastating. It was a sexual harassment case. It was for a very huge retail company. I'm still in the midst of pretty much arguing this case still. But I do it with no fear, and I'll tell you why. Because of Anita Hill. Thank you, Anita Hill. You've helped many women to come forward and deal with this situation. But I'm bringing all this up because of Herman Cain. Listen, at what point can we say to Herman Cain, in terms of supporting, especially in our financial dollars, that your past behavior will not work for me if you're my president? I gotta tell you, if I know what I know now, and I had to work for Godfather's Pizza, I don't think I would choose that company. I'm sorry, Godfather Pizza. I'm not saying this about you. I'm saying this about Herman Cain becoming the President of the United States. I think we have to make some better decisions, people. And Herman Cain, I think you have to do some real soul searching. And, really decide what your personal direction needs to be. Now, I'm not passing judgment. I'm only here to give psychic news on this outcome of his reconsideration. I'm just giving an opinion. So that's my human side. And now, with my cards, I'm going to give the psychic outcome. And the question I think I'm going to ask here is, will Herman Cain make a decision to abandon his campaign? I don't know what the cards are going to say. Let's give it a twirl. Let's see what it's going to say. I have to pull 10 cards. It's what I do. I can't pull them in advance, so it does take up a little bit of time. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, this is my morals card. This tells me to tell him to quit. This tells me, stop while you're ahead. There's a lot of passionate issues that are going to come out of this. The Hierophant is about morals and standards. Bones, please help me. Morals and standards. This is about a willing sacrifice. I think he is going to make a turnabout and make a sacrifice. Bones. He's a little confused, and so are a lot of people around him. It looks to me that there is like more than 7 issues of confusion, more than 7 issues, like more than 7 points that people are discussing right now. One of them being, my goodness, you knew about this? This is your personal life, and you knew about this. Aren't these some of the things that should have gone through your head in the first place? I do believe he's going to return to his family. I don't think his wife is going to abandon him. By no means. I think she's going to stick by him. I think she stuck by him in the past. I think she knew all along that he's always been this way. Very, according to the cards, very manipulating. He has a gift for gab. You know, he'll take anything and twist it. He's really good at doing that with women, and he's done it with his wife a lot. She will support him, but it'll be a public support. In private, I think she's highly humiliated. Very upset, and once again she's known about his indiscretions. She's challenged him on his indiscretions, but this is the first time that it's so public. So she's worried about herself, and she's worried about her children. I feel like she's saying, I need to protect my kids. In a childlike way, he definitely is going to reconsider and opt out of the presidential campaign. I feel like when he makes his public decision, I don't think it's going to be as mature as it should be. It should be sweet, and it should be calculated, where he's left with some dignity. I don't think he's going to do it that way. I think there's going to be some language that's going to seem really like, are you kidding me? Like, who says stuff like that except a kid? That's what I think is going to come out here. Ironically, I don't quite see him outside of the camp, like the public eye, though. I think somehow, because he's still going to have a lot of money left over, and I think somehow he's going to use some of the money to restructure a lot of his aspirations and his reputation. So I'm kind of over my limit. I'm into 8 minutes now. The bottom line is Herman Cain is dropping out the presidency. Running for the presidency. So I don't know, guys. It is what it is. He's done. And let me see how many days it'll take. I have a few more. How many days is this going to take? 10/22, 10/22, 10/22. No, before December 22nd. I don't know. I think it should be in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to give that time frame. I want to say in the next 2 days, but I think it's going to be in the next 2 weeks, and before the 22nd. So definitely before Christmas. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is segment 4. This is Tracey Brown. This is November 29th, 2011. I hope you're enjoying these. I'm trying to get a little better at it. I don't know if I am, so you just have to let me know. Thank you, and have a good night. Bye.